Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian. We recently traveled to Biloxi, Mississippi to cover the International Homeland Defense and Security Summit, where our coverage was sponsored by the Mississippi Development Authority. There we spoke with Major General Jansen Durr Boyles, Adjutant General of Mississippi. We asked him about the Mississippi National Guard's missions, worldwide deployments, and what the summit means to him.
I control 12,500 men and women in uniform. I have contractors in addition to that. But we're focused on defending the homeland. We're also focused on defending the homeland in foreign countries. And so we both respond to domestic responses. We also deploy overseas in support of active contingencies overseas. I've got about 2,500 Air Guardsmen. I have about 10,000 Army Guardsmen. I currently have about 500 Guardsmen deployed overseas currently. They're doing maintenance missions in the CENTCOM area. They're doing finance missions, believe it or not, in the CENTCOM area, and special operations support. In the near future, I will be deploying about 3,500 men and women, along with the state of Kansas and other states, for a total of about 5,000 men and women who'll be going overseas to support CENTCOM in their efforts in the global war on terrorism. What this conference does for me is it allows me to touch all of my peers that I work with in the event of a response, whether that's a hurricane or whether it's a cyber attack. And it's both active, it's our domestic contractors, it is our governmental partners, and so we come together and we talk about issues, what's the latest issue, and how we would respond to a domestic event. So I've got 4 lines of effort. One is partnering with our partners who are all here today. Readiness is the #1 priority in the military. It's also the #1 priority in the Army, so it's my #1 priority. And readiness means that I've got facilities that are available for my soldiers to train in. And we have to be creative because a lot is done on the internet now for training, in addition to, the traditional things of being involved in a training area and those type of things. So with the new funding coming out of Washington, we're going to put that funding to work to upgrade our armories. They need to be cyber ready. They need to be hardened a little bit. It also allows me to put more infrastructure in my training areas. I've got 3 big training areas in Mississippi. And those training areas are not just military, but they are also used by the federal government for, response to any kind of contingency, whether that's a fire or a tornado or a flood. So we've got a very robust training facility, and so all of those dollars will mean that we can enhance that. Our national security is at many different levels. I think it starts with providing security abroad so that we're secure at home. The National Guard is now an operational force. We used to be a strategic force where you had us on a wall, you break glass in case of emergency, and you use us. We are now rotating on regular assignments with the active component, both in the Air Force and the Army. And so that fits into his national strategy in that he needs enough forces to deploy overseas to support contingencies overseas. We also keep a force here to be able to respond to earthquakes and to flooding, like we did with Texas, like we did with Florida, like we did with Puerto Rico. And so we have sort of a two-pronged fork there that we have to work with the federal government to make sure we can defend the homeland against natural resources, natural causes, criminal causes, and overseas causes.